Welcome to the new sound of Rockland. RocklandWorldRadio.com. Exciting online TV and radio.
Oh, I'm sorry. Did I break your concentration?
Welcome to the new sound of Rockland. RocklandWorldRadio.com. Exciting online TV and radio. Watch and listen to what you've been missing. Broadcasting independent music, art, and culture. From the world of pop to poetry, classical to cutting edge. Movies, comedy, jazz, jams, rock and roll baby, interviews, information, and event listings. Join the revolution. It's not just radio, it's Rockland World Radio. RocklandWorldRadio.com.
Good evening and welcome to the Dialogues with Dan 7th anniversary program here on Rockland World Radio. And now the host of our show, Mr. Dan Windheim.
Thank you all for coming. The 7th-year anniversary show.
Wow.
This is an amazing moment for me, and thank you all for taking the time to come out and have a little summer party. I'd like to start by thanking my sponsors. I'd like to thank the Old Village Inn of Nyack, which is across the street from the studio. If you've never been there, I recommend you go. The Nyack Village Theater. Caroline and her staff and all the bartenders and waitresses and the fantastic food. It's a great time. And I'd also like to thank my other sponsor, Karma Bar and Lounge, which exists, actually it's next door to the studio, maybe a few doors up on Main Street. They have great food. If you like Italian food, that's the place to go. I mean, I always thought my grandmother's Italian food was great. Ziti and meatballs, and while their food might not be like Grandma Aurora, it's very good. I definitely recommend it. I'd also like to thank my family and friends. My mom, who's responsible, yeah, it's her fault. The great food and beverages, that's our mom's fault. And my brother, yes, Mom, it's all your fault. But thank you, Mom. And my brother and his family, my Jenny and her son, my nephew, Alex, is present. Thank you guys for coming all the way from Singapore. And they're here. Great. And my sister and her family, while her husband is here. And my sister is responsible for the great desserts. Yeah, Judy. Well, the other Judy Greenblatt, was commenting about the brownies. Yeah, my sisters brought those. So thank you, Liz. And my other friends have also been very supportive and encouraging over the years. So thank you, friends. And of course, I'd like to thank Rockland World Radio and Richard Quinn. They've been supportive and they've been instrumental to Dialogues with Dan. Thank you, guys. Yes, and his assistants. I'm trying to, the name escapes me, but
Forget it.
maybe I'll remember later in the show. But they all do great work here at Rockland World Radio. And of course, tonight's performers. They're sharing their time and talents to this show. Thank you, my performers. Maybe that'll lead right into the act, the performance. I'd like to introduce my first guest. She has been a guest for every year I've been doing this damn podcast. So I'd like to introduce Judy Stack. Judy!
Thank you, God. So, you in school?
Yes.
Good. Hard to say, otherwise it would be like, yes, I know.
Just don't block.
Yeah, not gonna block.
Don't worry about it.
He says he had an hour. You already took an hour with the introductions.
Yes.
So, you got any questions?
Yeah, I do actually. Judy, what has been your favorite interview? Actually, Judy has been a guest a number of times on my show. Judy has performed for different agencies that service the disabled around the county. I know for the mentally disabled.
Well, that's me.
She does.
I belong there.
She does it great. And maybe you could share some of your other venues.
Yeah, well, it's when I started my career in show business, I was just a kid. I was 5 years old, and I got into it. I'm going to read you a little something, because is that okay to do?
Yeah, please do.
Because I'm working on several new plays, as a matter of fact. One of them is an autobiographical monologue, I call it, because I found really from other people noticing it and telling me even before I recognized that the several plays that I've written, which I've all won grants for and had productions of, and they were wonderfully received, was in some way it was about me and my family. And when you're a writer, sometimes it's unconscious. Most of my life has been unconscious, actually. But so in drips and drabs in different plays, I brought out other things about my life, and people have been a little interested in what I've been doing and how I managed to grow up with some semblance of being a normal person.
Has it all been in this county, or?
A lot of it has been in this county, but when because when I moved here in 1972.
Oh, Judy,
I moved here in
I think maybe the microphone.
Yeah, you can move the microphone over here. What a guy. What a guy.
Yes.
Much better. Oh my God, I can't even hear myself.
That's what came.
Yeah, so I moved up here in 1972 because I knew I was going to get a divorce from my husband. As a matter of fact, that music, the Everly Brothers. When I was dating that guy, we used to walk around the street holding hands with matching clothing, which was the most human thing the man ever did in his life. After that, he became. But we used to walk around to the Everly Brothers, so it brings back such memories. Thank you for that. So we moved up here. I knew I was going to get a divorce, and I always wanted to have a house, and I could only really afford to live in Rockland because of the economy. So,
It doesn't say
No
much.
more.
it doesn't say much. For me, I had nothing.
Yeah, Nyack in Rockland.
Yeah.
Rockland's pretty expensive.
Now it is. But they were just riding horse and carriages when I got here.
Yes.
It was 1972. It's like another century, another era ago. Anyway, so I started doing theater up here at Elmwood, which is around the corner. I've always was doing theater all my life, but in school, yes, you can applaud. And so I did several plays there, and then I went on to work at Penguin, and I've done 39 plays there, and 80 in the county so far. 80 plays. Yes, wow! Wouldn't you think something would come from all that? So I thought I would just read to you, since we're going to have my director, Anthony C. Collar, over here, is working with me on my autobiographical monologue, which is the story of my life, whittled down to an hour and 10 minutes, which is really all I could bear to talk about. I went into a depression for 3 months after doing that. But it's turned out to be quite an interesting journey for me. So we're doing it at the Shades Repertory Theater in Haverstraw in August on the 6th, 7th, and 8th. So instead of me reading from the play, I thought I would let you know about it.
Great idea.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you, darling.
So,
So here we go. I wrote a little something here. I was born in 1942. Can you believe that? At a time when we were living on a very different planet. Not only because our country was involved in a world war, but little me was in my own personal war of survival. Yes, I had food, clothing, and a roof over my head, but I was not fortunate enough to enjoy the mental stimulation, guidance, and love of a parent's hand, mind, and heart. I molded myself by copying the attributes that I found admirable in others, other actresses to be exact. I learned about the family lives of other people who were living together in very different kinds of lives, and I was able to be nurtured by the shows and personalities on the radio, instead of the 2 unhappy, angry parents who had lost a 3-year-old child the year before my birth. I was neglected by them both, emotionally and physically, which actually turned out to be both a curse, because to this day I'm still living my life in solitary confinement for the most part, and I don't integrate very well into the world at large, except with Dan when time. But it was also a blessing, because at the same time I was forced to become a totally independent person, relying upon my own wits to teach myself as best I could the ways of the world. I taught myself to create, to write, and think from my own totally unique perspective. And I've been obsessed listening to the biographies of other more successful actresses, and for the most part they were all nurtured and encouraged to excel in their field, which ultimately assisted them in the achievement of their successful careers. But my experience seems to have been very different from those of any others that I have heard about. Because I didn't know any better, I chose and married at age 16 a man, like my father, a cold and withholding man, and had 3 sons of my own by the time I was 23. The profound loneliness I've lived with for so many years was the result of a lifetime of being ignored. I think because of that I've been obsessed with how to be as good as I possibly could be with anything I decided to do. So I strived to become an accomplished actor, which afforded me the ability to hide from myself in the many characters in the plays, on a stage, so far and away from my real life. I hid so well that I ultimately did not learn to know who the real me was. Therefore, the name of my show is Hide and Seek. Unfortunately, I was not able to accomplish what I really wanted, which was to act in major motion pictures, but my fear of rejection kept me from doing the things necessary to get known. I excelled in illustrating, sewing, cooking, radio production, theatrical production, advertising. I was the first successful woman sales executive for a major Fortune 500 company, a designer manufacturer of fashion jewelry for 40 Saks Fifth Avenue stores and hundreds of boutiques nationwide. As an entrepreneur, I built and operated 3 retail stores in Rockland County for 24 years. I've been asked many times to write about my hard-to-believe life, and I have actually written about my life, as I said before, in many plays and stories and articles, but they were disguised even from myself. My most recent writing is this autobiographical monologue, Hide and Seek is the Real Deal. The writing of it threw me into a depression which lasted months, and now I'm on the other side of it, free at last. There will be 3 performances coming up at the Shades Repertory Theater in Haverstraw on August 6th, 7th, and 8th. And I would absolutely be thrilled if you came to see it.
Excellent.
Thank you. So can I show them my artwork? Want to see my artwork?
Yes.
I know you're dying to see it. It's like, got this bag. I feel like a bag lady because I am a bag lady. This is something I put online. I've been starting these paintings recently. Look at that.
Wow.
Yeah.
All right.
No, everybody thinks no matter what I put on, that it's me. And I said, no, it's not me. It's not me.
Who are you?
I don't know who I am.
Who would
I'm
you
surprised
like?
they didn't think that this was me. But
Yes.
they didn't. So it's really
Well,
interesting.
whoever you are, we're lucky to know you.
Isn't he sweet?
Yes.
Oh, you got another guess? Is that it?
I do.
Okay.
Eventually, but no rush.
Started a face-to-face in New York for the Facebook groups, and this is the kind of cartoons that I do. So, hey, I have to show you. Oh, my friend Anthony, so he had this printed up. I write children's books and illustrate them. My first one was the Lunch and Judy Show. So, hey, you know, I gotta earn my keep here. So anyway, I won't throw you the rest of it. But thank you
Yeah.
for the opportunity, darling.
Excellent.
Happy birthday, happy anniversary.
Yes, thank you.
Okay.
Beautiful.
Boy.
Thank you,
Yeah,
Judy.
thank you.
Thank you for sharing that little piece.
Thank you.
And that's word for word from your play, huh?
Yes, it's not from my play, but it's about my play, but thank you.
Yeah, excellent.
Thank you. Okay, thank you, everybody.
Oh, it looks like. Hi. Looks like our next guests are here. Actually, 2 of them. Yes, of course. Ray LaBella. And I'm not certain.
And this is Lisa Rosenberg, my writing partner and bandmate.
Oh, excellent. Welcome, guys. Yeah, this past weekend, I had the pleasure of seeing Ray perform in Piermont at the Bastille Day. Yeah.
Leave the house.
But at the Bastille Day affair in Piermont, he played with this band. What were they called?
Unborn Mind. Yes, Unborn Mind.
And tonight, you'll be performing originals.
Yeah. We're gonna do, we'll do however many songs we did 3 last year. If you want 3, whatever you have time for, it'll be great. And I just want to say, like, congratulations, man. 7 years, right?
Yes,
Keep it
that's
safe.
right.
That's right. Keep it safe.
And I believe, what is this for you?
I don't think that's for me. That's for the next
Oh.
act. We're just gonna wait for some volume here. So this place is air conditioned now because the last couple of years, I've done this for 3 years now, and every July, it is brutal out here, and now it's really nice. So I'm into this. Lisa's gonna sing, so I don't really need the mic, but are we good? Can you guys hear that?
Yeah.
Yes.
Because I can't see a thing, so I'm gonna say, can you guys hear that?
Yeah, we can hear it.
I'm gonna see if I can hear it. Okay. All right, cool.
I'd like to introduce Ray LaBella and
Lisa Rosenberg.
Lisa Rosenberg.
I just want to say one more thing. We're doing original songs, so these are a couple of new songs, but you guys wouldn't know the difference anyway. But the name of the first song is Always Rock, and I wrote this song because somebody sent me a Tampa Bay Devil Ray logo, and it said, all Rays rock, and my name is Ray. So I started out writing a song that was just a silly little ditty because I had nothing to do, just sort of, oh wow, all Rays rock, that's pretty cool. But it turned out to be a kind of a serious song, so now it's Always Rock. But I think in the chorus, you could switch back and forth between all Rays, and we won't tell you when, it's all Rays or Always Rock.
Yeah, right. Yeah, so they know the words. They can join in.
Well,
Because they
You can either all raise or always.
they're locking the notes.
Whatever you want.
You mean the world to me. Oh, baby, can't you see? I give you everything and more. I don't wear diamond rings, and all those are so things that I never asked you for. Oh no, but I will always rock, always rock, always rock and roll. My country to severe believed in slavery that went on entirely too long. How could men so great even hesitate when they knew all along it was wrong? So wrong, sing it with me. Always rock, always rock, always rock and roll. Oh yeah. We cut down another tree. There goes humanity. Will you play one in this place? If you want to make a better place, you gotta start today. You got to give more than you take. Oh yeah, you know it now. We will always rock, always rock, always rock and roll.
Sound great there.
We will always rock, always rock, always rock and roll. Oh yeah.
Walls. It was on our CD that came out in 14. And Lisa and I sing it, so we'll share this one.
Day or night, I wanna be there. Where there's a wrong, you gotta make it right. I wanna be there. I wanna be there when we tear down the walls. I wanna watch them fall. I wanna watch them fall. There when we tear down the walls that separate us all. That separates us all.
Until common good is understood, we will fight for what is right. And fear is all there is to be afraid of. There's no fear in this crowd. Our feet planted and our voices loud. This is what this country was made of. I wanna be there when we tear down the walls. I wanna watch them fall. I wanna watch them fall. There when we tear down the walls that separate us all. That separates us all.
Issues go the undertow, circulates to those I know. You're not at your best if you turn away. What is done day and night for those that don't have rights is to try to make a better day. I wanna be there when we tear down the walls. I wanna watch them fall. I wanna watch them fall. There when we tear down the walls that separate us all. That separates us all. That separates us all. Don't separate us. That separates us all.
Yeah, Ray, I know you have to go to somewhere.
We're playing down the street
Yes.
in Nyack with the
Yeah.
John whoever band, and we're running out of time. I just want to say thank you. You guys are a great audience. Daniel, really thank you. And congratulations. 7 years. Keep the faith, man. You're always smiling, always out there. It's always good to see you and your mother. Where is she? Always good to see you. Yeah.
Thank you.
Great. Thank you so much.
Ray and Lisa, that was really special. You came and rocked me.
Okay, you can take it out.
Papa,
Right, real nice.
Papa.
All right.
Oh,
All right. Well, that's good.
Thank you for joining us.
Thank you.
yeah, so have a great night.
Thank you. Sorry I have to run.
Yeah, I appreciate it.
We are too.
Thank you, Judy. I haven't seen you in a while, but Judy, I'll see you later. Thank you. Judy, be black too.
Yeah. Judy's in the house.
Yay!
Before I go on, I'd like to make an announcement that over the last 7 years, I have to thank about 350 interviewees from all around the world have been on Dialogues with Dan, and they've ranged, some of them were disabled individuals, some had different situations, monetary situations, but they all gave their heart and soul to Dialogues with Dan. So to the 350 so interviewees, thank you all from around the world. I believe we have another performer or two. I believe Harry Levy and Bunky Brio is in the house. Bunky Brio and Harry Levy. Yeah. Yeah. Hey guys. They've been practicing.
Yeah,
Right?
we call it that.
Yeah, so I'd like to introduce Bunky Brio and Harry Levy.
Thanks so much, Dan.
Thanks again. Thanks again for having me and us. We were going to start with I'm So Lonesome I Could Cry. Yeah, that's all.
Alright.
We literally practiced, 45 minutes ago, this whole thing. Hear the Lord. Sorry, ready?
1, 2, 3. I'll take the harmonic first.
Hear that lonesome whippoorwill, the sounds too blue to fly. That midnight train is winding low. I'm so lonesome I could cry. I've never seen a night so long, where time goes slowly by. The moon just went behind a cloud, two hardest days in a crowd.
so long. Going by. Whoa. It means he's lost the will to live. I'm so lonesome I could cry. The silence of a falling star lights up a purple sky. And as I wonder where you are, I'm so lonesome I could cry. I'm so lonesome I could cry. Thanks, Dan. Your show is such an inspiration. It's such a great show.
Thanks, man.
Thanks for having us here.
I've never heard you perform. I've seen you in plays. Of course, an excellent actor, but musician, wow, man.
It's nice to shake it a little sometimes.
Excellent. I've heard Bunky play, and I know he rocks and rolls. And are you're gonna wow us with another song or two?
We might do that.
Ready?
That's the way that the world goes round. So much for rehearsing.
I can just play it if you want to sing.
Yeah, let's do that, Larry. That's the way that the world goes round. Whoops, we're doing the chorus.
Do you know a guy who's got lots of booze?
I know a guy that's got a lot to lose. He's a pretty nice fella. He's kind of confused. He's got muscles in his head, never been used. Thinks he's on top of this town. Starts drinking heavy, gets a big red nose, beats his old lady with a rubber hose. Then he takes her out to dinner, buys her new clothes, and that's the way that the world goes round. Said that's the way that the world goes round. You're up one day, the next you're down. It's a half an inch of water, you think you're gonna drown. That's the way that the world goes round. That's the way that the world goes round. Well, I was taking a bath, counting my toes when the radiator broke. Water froze, I got caught in the ice, without my clothes, naked as the eyes of a clown. I was crying an excuse, hoping I'd choke when the sun came through the window. I saw it broke, I just stood up and laughed. I thought it was a joke, and that's the way that the world goes round. I said, that's the way that the world goes round. You're up one day, the next you're down. It's a half an inch of water, you think you're gonna drown. That's the way that the world goes round. That's the way that the world goes round. I said, that's the way that the world goes round. You're up one day, the next you're down. It's a half an inch of water, you think you're gonna drown. It's the way that the world goes round. And that's the way that the world goes round. don't get stage fright, Dan. But the lights, I can't see the audience.
We're here.
Puff the Magic Dragon?
How about we just Angel from Montgomery?
Alright, I'm gonna take a hike. Thanks.
You don't have to take a hike. You can stay here.
Take a seat. Relax.
All right, one more. I'm sorry. Start it over.
There's something to be said for live music. We love you, Pinky. Well, just take your time.
All right, take your time. Get it right. After my mother, old man was another child who's grown old. The dreams are lightning, thunder was desired. Soul house would have burned down such a long time ago. Make me an angel that flies from Montgomery. Make me a poster of an old rodeo. Just give me one thing that I can hold on to. To believe in this living is just a hard way to go. I was a young girl, I had me a cowboy. Weren't much to look at, just a free rambling man. That was a long time, and no matter how I tried, years they just roll by like a broken down dam. Me an angel that flies from Montgomery. Make me a poster of an old rodeo. Just give me one thing that I can hold on to. To believe in this living is just a hard way to flies in the kitchen, I can hear them there buzzing. And I ain't done nothing since I woke up today. How the heck can a person go to work in the morning, come home in the evening, and have nothing to say? Make me an angel that flies from Montgomery. Make me a poster of an old rodeo. Just give me one thing that I can hold on to. To believe in this living is just a hard way to go. To believe in this living is just a hard way to go. As John Lennon said, I think we passed the audition here. We'll leave it at that.
Thanks so much, guys. Thanks, Harry.
Thank you so much, Dan.
Thank you.
Keep it
Harry Levy and Bunky Bria. Thanks so much, you guys. You're great musicians. Yes, I'm hoping our last performer is in the house. I believe he said he'd be here about now. I have a little comedy relief for you. And I'd like to introduce Jeremy Cash. Yes, Jeremy. I work with Jeremy at the library, and Jeremy is a huge talent in other respects, and well, that's the worst thing you could do with a comedian. Make me laugh. All right. Do what you do.
What's going on, you guys? How you doing? Having a good time?
Yeah!
Never had somebody hold my hand for like a minute before I came on stage. Kind of feel weird right now. So yeah, my name's Jeremy. I was actually supposed to be a professional baseball player, but now I headline at Wendy's, so that's kind of what I've been doing with my time. I recently moved to the city, and I still commute every day to Nyack to work. And I found out there's actually a technical term for what I'm doing. It's called being an idiot, right? But the city has its perks, right? There's like a lot of beautiful women walking around. You know what I like? I like yoga pants. I don't know if you guys are familiar with this concept of yoga pants. But I know what some of you ladies in the crowd might be thinking, like, gross. Typical. Cool story, bro. But you know what? I'm here to tell you it's not like that for me. See, for me, I find that yoga pants give me the full range of motion and flexibility that I require in my daily lifestyle. Plus, they also help showcase my desirables, so there's that. I just felt like, coming in here, sharing that with you guys. I recently broke up with my girlfriend. Thank you. You guys are nice. Well, to be honest, she wasn't really my girlfriend. She was more of just this girl that hated when I called her that. In her absence, I've taken to writing poetry. I think my favorite would have to be the haiku. Now, what I like to do is write them down on rocks. That way, when I throw them through her window at night, she really gets the message, and there's no confusion. I don't know, I guess I'm trying to say that love is hard, you guys. I wouldn't have traded those 2.5 days we spent for anything in the world. So I'm at this exciting time in my life where all these wonderful, profound, and life-changing things are happening. to all my friends. Like, I'm just trying to get my cat to fit into the sweater that I made him. My buddy just got engaged. She was like, "Hey, Jeremy, do you have any ideas for my bachelor party?" I was like, "Yeah, here's a thought. Have you considered not getting married, right?" I don't know. I guess I'm just like a little bitter. I'm in a little bit of a dry streak. I don't really feel that comfortable talking about that right here, but I'm gonna do it anyway. My large box of unopened condoms has been mocking me for like about 10 months now, I think. I don't know. Like every day I wake up, I'm just like, today's the day, buddy. We're gonna do it. I don't know. But you know, I'm staying positive. I'm meeting people, going out on dates. The other night I was out with this girl. She was like a big fan of astrology. She wanted to guess my sign. She grabbed hold of my hand. She was like, "Let me ask you this. Do you identify with your sign?" I was like, "I will identify with a lot of things if you keep touching me." She took like 8 guesses and finally got it on the 8th try. Like, I don't really know if you get credit for an 8-guess astrological sign, right? Like, she did like a mini celebration. I don't know, maybe 1 or 2 guesses. But it was interesting to me because earlier that day I had been reading my horoscope and it said that I was actually going to meet a moron, so I thought that was pretty neat. Yeah. So how you guys doing? Let's give it up for Dan one more time. Thank you for having me on. Yeah, happy to be here. I just had some sushi and I just had my first oyster of my life, so I'm feeling kind of like weird right now. Just thought I'd give you the oyster disclaimer.
Might use those condoms.
I don't know.
On the oyster?
Yeah, it's gonna be an interesting night, like I said, you know, oysters, stuff like that. But you know, some things are going good for me, right? Like, I just made the last payment on my college tuition, which is pretty great. After almost 10 years, it's great to finally have that associate's degree, so it's pretty good. I used to play Magic the Gathering. I'm not sure if you guys are familiar with that, this card game. It like combines elements of strategy, competition, and being a virgin. That's like the 3 main things for that game. I don't know, this is like a card game that the kids play now, so I don't know if you guys know what I'm talking about.
Yeah, Jeremy, would you like to share about your open mic every Monday? I think I just, well, maybe you'd like to share.
Yeah, sure. I host an open mic at Olives bi-weekly. The next one is July 20th at 8 p.m.
Okay.
So if you guys like comedy, you can come and try some.
All right.
It's pretty fun. Is that the cue? Is that the cue to wrap it up?
No, just
No?
pop.
Pop.
Yes.
Alright, where was I? So I used to play online poker for a living. You remember those guys you'd see on TV like a bunch of years ago? Well, that was never me. I think when somebody tells you that they used to play online poker, it generally means that they failed at that activity. I got my first job at 24, working at Dunkin' Donuts. Working at Dunkin' Donuts sucks, right? Like, I think my least favorite part was they only give you 1 shirt. Like, I used to work there 6 days a week, 52 hours a week, 1 shirt. Like, can I get a second shirt? Come on. Every day I would come home smelling like coffee, French crullers, and despair. Those were the 3. But now I'm working at a library, getting paid to aggressively shush people. So there's that. They say you should dress for the job you want, right? Not the job you have. That's why for the past couple weeks I've been coming into work in my old baseball uniform. Just like, I don't know, I was wanting to be a ball player and figured I'd give it one more shot before I hang up my cleats. Alright, one more joke and then I will leave you in the capable hands of Daniel. You always hear about crazy cat women, right? Crazy cat women? But never crazy cat men, right? Like, what's up with that? Like, I don't know, it seems kind of sexist to me. I want to do something about it. When I get older, I want to be a crazy cat man. So I'm trying to tell you guys right now. I already have a lot of things going for myself. I live alone. Most of my friends think that I'm insane. And as of last night, all of my cats have their own Facebook accounts, you guys. All right, thank you very much.
Jeremy Cash. Way to go, Jeremy. That was excellent. Well, lastly, I'd like to make an announcement. Well, over the last few years, a friend of mine has been dealing with a difficult situation. Yeah, so I'd like to give kudos to Michael Grella, another man I work with. Michael is a cancer survivor. And I'd like to give him his great credit and great accomplishment of his work with the Relay for Cancer and helping cancer survivors across the nation and possibly abroad. So I believe Michael's here. I'd like to give a round of applause to Michael Grella. Great work, Michael. Yes, so to end, I'd like to thank you all again for coming to Dialogues with Dan 7-year anniversary. And I'm almost certain there will be an 8-year.
We love you, Dan.
Thank you guys, and thank you again, my performers. What a great job you all did, and I'm sure I'll see you all around. Well, thank you again for coming. Have a great night, great week, and stay cool. Peace.
It's not just radio, it's Rockland World Radio. RocklandWorldRadio.com